Okay, let me get this straight. Corruption in Miss Universe? You're telling me all along Miss Universe was pre-selected? Now, who remembers the executive director, Noette, publicly humiliating Miss Mexico? Well, congratulations to her. She was crowned the winner. Yeah, whoever thought she will win since all the odds were stacked against her? But here's the problem. 2 judges stepped down and one of the judges posted this on his Instagram story. The whole world has just seen the 15 fake finalists. It is exactly the same one I was told about a few days ago and are starting to understand that I did well to denounce the fraud. So that judge is Harfouche, and he's letting us know there is rigging behind the scenes of the competition and he wants no part of it. He also posted this on his Instagram. Urgent, Miss Mexico is fake, Miss Universe, and I will tell you why. Now, I love a good tell-all. So get this, Omar went on HBO and had a sit-down interview 24 hours before they announced Miss Universe. He predicted that Miss Mexico, Fatima Bosch, would win, okay? Because her father allegedly has business ties with the owner of Miss Mexico. This is insane. And this is all alleged, of course. Listen, hopefully these accusations aren't true, but if it is, a lot of people are going to distance themselves from this organization. And good for Omar for speaking out.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Burrs or Belly Dirt Stranad. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I'm gonna be your today's host, and I have so many statistics to put up here, and we're gonna come out to talk about it. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
The Miss Universe controversy is bad. It's crazy. Miss Mexico has won Miss Universe, and 2 of the Miss Universe judges have resigned, saying that it was completely rigged and that Fatima Bosch, who is Miss Mexico, was set to win. A couple weeks ago, if you haven't heard, Miss Mexico was the one who walked out of the orientation because she was being disrespected by an executive director for Miss Universe in Thailand, Noette. Now, was that entire thing scripted? People think that it is. But anyway, Omar is one of the judges. He says that there is currently an exclusive HBO documentary on Miss Universe. He said 24 hours before Miss Mexico was crowned, he said Miss Mexico would win. That was not a prediction, he says. He says he just knew. How? Because the Miss Universe owner, Raul Rocha, is in business with Fatima Bosch's father. And again, this is all the judge, the one who resigned, this is his claims. He says all details will be showed in May 2026 in HBO. Raul Rocha and his son urged me a week ago in Dubai to vote for Fatima because they need her to win because it will be good for our business. That's what they told him. This is not the first time Miss Universe has gotten allegations of rigging the competition. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this and whether or not you guys think this is rigged. Let me know in the comments. I cover trending topics in pop culture. My name is Nikki. Give us a like and a follow.
Yes, you guys are absolutely right. Miss Mexico, she paid for all of this to happen. She paid to win. And the way she made this happen actually wasn't because of her dad. What actually happened was after she won Miss Mexico, Miss Universe Mexico, every single Mexican in Mexico donated $100 from their Bienestar bank account that the government gives them and put that money to make sure that she would win. And not just that, the Mexican Americans also teamed up with the Mexicans in Mexico. We took our differences aside and we also put in $1,000 from the money that we get, that our alien family members get from the government as well. And we all put it towards a fund that would assure that Miss Mexico won Miss Universe. And that's how we did it. And that's how we got away with it. And we won in the end. I bet you wish your people and the people in your diaspora were as smart as we were and as rich as we are.
She's getting booed. Everybody is screaming Côte d'Ivoire. They think Miss Côte d'Ivoire should have won.
Sorry, Babu.
Yes. Where you from?
I'm from Dominican Republic, but this is cannot happen. Sorry, no.
I'm with you.
Guadeloupe, Côte d'Ivoire, deserve it. Not this. Sorry.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So in case you haven't figured out what's happening, let me show you.
Miss Universe is Mexico!
Yeah, Miss Mexico won Miss Universe, Fatima Bosch. If you guys remember, I think it was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it went viral because she was being belittled by some Thai, by the guy running the thing, the Thai guy, and everyone walked out in solidarity. Well, people are feeling like she got this crown as some sort of recompense for that incident. Do you want to see the person that everyone thinks should have won the tournament or won this Miss Universe?
If you win the title of Miss Universe tonight, how would you use this platform to empower young girls?
Well, as an ambassador and as Miss Universe, I would want to be the face of a representation of a new generation that mixes culture, that mixes modern and traditional. I want to be the face of a new era of women that are bold, that are leaders, that are unapologetic about who they are.
Yeah, so that's who everyone wanted to win Miss Universe. And yeah, so Fatima Bosch, as soon as it was announced that she won, the only people that were cheering her were the Mexicans. Everybody else started booing her instantly. And you saw that he was screaming Cote d'Ivoire. And I'm thinking that she's got to be the, I don't know, saddest winner of this event ever. Because imagine her looking at her crown right now, knowing not a single person wanted her to win. Not every, even the other contestants, people who were there for other countries, abandoned their own countrymen and were screaming in favor of Cote d'Ivoire. Damn, Mexicans definitely hate Drogba right now.
Why are people being so fucking weird about Miss Mexico winning Miss Universe 2025? Why are people putting fake photoshopped images of the card announcing the winners, showing that Ivory Coast won instead of Miss Mexico? I've never seen people turn on a woman so fucking quickly. This is disturbing. I did my due diligence. I dug, I poked, and there is no evidence that she purchased this win or her dad purchased this win. And I just saw this video.
I think a lot of American people don't know how Mexican women are viewed in other Latin American countries. In other Latin American countries, Mexican women are usually considered the ugliest or not very attractive women.
Girl, you're right. I didn't know. I had no idea. And if that's part of the reason why I've seen a lot of Hispanic people be very upset that Miss Mexico won, then shame on you. It's absolute insanity, as if the woman hasn't been through enough through this entire Miss Universe process. And I'll be honest, from the moment that I saw her speak up after Nawal, the Thai representative, cursed her out basically in front of everyone, she shows so much poise and grace under pressure. I was rooting for her to win, and I'm still glad she did.
Why are people so mad that Mexico won Miss Universe? I swear, the envy and hate that people have for Mexico always shows when Mexico excels at anything. But I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, Mexico has some of the best food, some of the best culture, some of the most beautiful women, obviously. Like, bro, have you seen some of the men complaining that Mexico won? Bro, half of these guys don't even have hair and are like 5'6", and it's the same for women. Like, bro, you guys are complaining about a Miss Universe contestant. You're not on that level, bro. If anything, I think Miss Mexico was overqualified. But there you have it, guys. People just hate to see Mexico and Mexicans win. But like I always say, they love coming to our beaches. They love our food. They love our drinks. They love our hospitality. But they don't like us. But anyways, Viva Mexico. Let me know what you guys think.
Mexico won the title of Miss Universe and has many saying that the whole thing was rigged. Let's talk about it. It came down to the top finalist. Miss Thailand, who had already tried 4 times with this one to win the title, Miss Philippines, Venezuela, and Costa de Marfil, and of course, Mexico. Those were the top 5 out of 120 countries. The reason a lot of people are claiming that it was rigged, it's because 2 judges stepped down days before the competition. One of the judges claims that they had pre-selected 30 contestants before the competition even started to be finalists. But accusing the organization of being rigged is nothing new. Every year, they get accused of the same thing because their country didn't win. Many claim that she didn't answer the question correctly. And I think they're wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. Part of the question was, how would you empower young women? Fatima's response was from her heart. She didn't sound like she rehearsed it before they asked her the question. She didn't sound like it was an AI response. She said, believe in the power of your own authenticity. She said, never let anyone doubt your own self-worth. And those are values that I bet represent who she is. Not something that a coach told her to say. A lot of Venezolanos came online and said, oh, it's rigged. Venezuela should have won. Venezuela has won 7 times. Let's not be greedy. The country that has won the most, the U.S., has won 9 times. This is Mexico's 4th time winning the title. And Miss Universe 2026 is going to be in Puerto Rico. For all of you who say that Fatima should have never won, I got one word. Soporten.
Fatima Bosch won Miss Universe, and this is what has been happening in Mexico before and after she won. Everything started wrong, everything was weird, even since the national contest, and things didn't get better. Just as a disclaimer, this is not hate. So everything started when she last minute accepted being part of the Miss Universe edition in Mexico. The way she enrolled was unusual. It was very last minute in a way, and they called her, they looked for her so she could be in that pageant. Up to that point, to me, it was already unusual, but all good. I mean, I guess it could happen. I'm not sure how things work. During the final round of the contest, when they announced that Fatima was going to be Miss Mexico, they announced her like Fatima Bosch, Miss Mexico, and at first nobody said anything. Nobody went to say congratulations Fatima. Very few people clap at the time, and it was like big news in Mexico because it's the first time that a Miss wins and she doesn't receive any kind of recognition from her mates. At first we all thought, well, the other ladies might be jealous because Fatima is obviously pretty. I think she didn't have a good runway or something like that, but in the speech part she did a very good job, at least that's what people say, and people believe it was a legit result. That day, instead of screaming Fatima Fatima or Miss Tabasco because she's from Tabasco, people started screaming Jalisco, like the state of the person that was supposed to win. To our eyes, as the audience, we didn't think, and I think most of us didn't think, that Miss Jalisco was better looking than Fatima, but apparently during the contest, Miss Jalisco proved herself, and everybody thought that the crown was stolen from her. To our eyes, Fatima was a very nice girl. She is very religious, so in Mexico that is also very religious. That connected very well with the audience, and I think most of the Mexicans were happy with the results. So it wasn't a big deal. We all just thought that the other misses were kind of jealous maybe, or they had something personal. But personally, I did find it weird because there has been many editions of Miss Universe here and it never happened that before. So I dig in to see but what's happening, and I find out that the dad of Fatima is a very well connected businessman, and that he works in Petróleos Mexicanos. So Petróleos Mexicanos, it's very close with the government, and Pemex, it's like Pertamina in Indonesia, but it's like the Mexican version. So the dad is very well connected. Nowadays, Pemex in Mexico, it's crap. It doesn't work well. It's a big corruption there. Like everything about Pemex, it's corruption nowadays. By that time, I could guess there was something unfair, but I couldn't guess what it was. And until today, I still don't know what happened exactly there. But the girls were angry. Everybody was attacking the other misses, defending Fatima. And Fatima seemed like a victim, but at the same time it was weird because this doesn't happen commonly. To my eyes, maybe there was something shady, but at the same time, she was maybe the strongest candidate of Mexico's edition. Anyway, Mexico goes to Miss Universe with all the support of the people in Mexico. Like, she goes as a very strong candidate, maybe because of the background and the connection, the religious connection with the audience. Like, she's very charismatic and she knows how to connect. Then the scandal with the Thai man, that was super inappropriate. I don't know if it was truth or not, now I don't know, but I thought it was super out of the line, and I thought it was okay for her to raise her voice. I think she did something according to the Miss Universe program in regards to the women empowerment. And once again, she gains popularity because of that situation. In my humble opinion, even if she's obviously beautiful, she wasn't going to win. Like, she doesn't seem like an expert or up to the level to win Miss Universe. To me, she didn't look as prepared as some other candidates. But as before the final of Miss Universe, she was good with words, I thought, well, maybe if she speaks well, she could make it to the top 10 or top 5. I want to say that my favorite since moment one was Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire and Turks and Caicos and Guadeloupe. But Côte d'Ivoire, wow. And what we saw the night of the final round in Miss Universe was a queen, and the queen was not Fatima. I'm sorry to say it, but she was not the queen, it was Côte d'Ivoire. At least to me, Côte d'Ivoire, if not maybe Venezuela, because her speech was so strong. Philippines was also very good, and well, many others were doing a good job, but to me, Côte d'Ivoire. And then I realized that it wasn't just me, but the whole world. After Miss Universe,
what is currently happening in the Miss Universe world is something nobody expected, and yet somehow it feels like everything finally makes sense. People have always whispered that beauty pageants have politics behind them, that they are influenced by sponsorship, connections, and behind the scenes deals. But this time, those whispers hasn't coming from random fans or conspiracy theorists. These allegations are coming from the judges themselves, from people who were inside the rooms the public never get to see. And that is why this controversy has shaken the pregnant community to its core. Miss Mexico Fatima Bucci winning the Miss Universe crown should have been a celebration, a moment of pride not just for her but for her country, her team, and the entire pregnant industry. But instead, it turned into a global debate about corruption, favorism, and whether the competition we have watched for years was ever truly fair. The moment the crown touched her head, the noise online did not sound like applause anymore. It sounded like suspicious. Let's break down what led to this explosion. Almost immediately after Fatima's win, two official Miss Universe judges resigned, which alone is unheard of. Judges typically enjoy their role. They are respected, they love the glamour, the platform, the networking, so for not just one, but two judges to step down is already a red flag. But what they said afterward is what sent shockwaves through the entire industry. One of them posted on Instagram, "The whole world has just seen the fifth peak finalist, and it's exactly the same one I was told about a few days ago. I did well to denounce the fraud. If a random fan wrote that, no one would care. But this is a judge who has access to internal information, a judge who knew the candidate placement before the results were even announced. That alone already implies the competition may have been predetermined, but didn't stop there. He also wrote, Urgent, Miss Mexico is fake Miss Universe, and I will tell you why. This is when the conversation went from suspicious to accusation, because people don't casually call a winner fake unless something serious is behind it. Then enters Omar, the judge who has now become the center of this entire scandal. According to Omar, there is an entire HBO documentary already in production about Miss Universe. And here's the bombshell. He says he knew Miss Mexico would win 24 hours before the crowning. Not because he predicted it, not because he was favored by fans, but because he was told she would win. He claims that the owner of Miss Universe, Rochelle, along with his son, told him explicitly in Dubai a week before the pregnancy to vote for Miss Mexico because they needed her to win, because it would be good for business. Now imagine this, a global competition with dozens of countries, millions of viewers, decades of reputation reduced to a business transaction, reduced to a pre-selected outcome, reduced to personal relationships and private deals. Omar's accusation claims that Miss Mexico's father allegedly has business ties with the Miss Universe owner. Again, this is all allegedly, but the fact that it's been said so openly by someone who was inside the judging panel is why the world is now paying attention. And here's where this entire controversy becomes even more suspicious. Just 2 weeks before the competition, Miss Mexico made headlines for another incident. She walked out of orientation because she was supposedly insulted and humiliated by the executive director of Miss Universe Thailand, Nawat. That clip went viral. People took her side. They say she was so brave that she was a victim of disrespect. But now some believe that entire moment might have been scripted, not because she needed publicity, but because the organization needed her to appear as the underdog, the one audiences will sympathize with. Because when you appear mistreated publicly, people start rooting for you. It's psychology. It creates emotional investment. It builds a narrative, and in purgatory, narrative sells. If this theory is true, and again, it's only a theory, it would mean the controversy wasn't an accident, but a manufactured story used to create sympathy and sell public opinion before the final coronation. Meanwhile, the documentary angle is what really worries people. Omar says the HBO documentary will expose everything in May 2026, which means that production crew were already filming behind the scenes before the controversy even erupted. That implies the documentary itself predicted chaos. It implies they already knew there was internal diffusion. You don't plan a tell-all documentary unless there is already something to tell. The timing is suspicious, the prediction are suspicious, the resignation are suspicious, and the reaction from fans, both America and Mexico, are exploding in real time. Americans are calling this one of the biggest pregnant scandals in decades. Mexicans are divided, some are defending Fatima facelessly, others are embarrassed that their country is being dragged into a global scandal. Many believe Fatima may herself be innocent, that she may not have known anything about the alleged business dealings behind her back. And honestly, that is possibility. Contestants don't always know what sponsors, team members, or owners are doing behind the curtain. They only focus on performing. But the problem is bigger than Fatima. The problem is the integrity of Miss Universe as an institution. Even if even one crown was bought, even one winner was pre-selected because of business ties, then every crown from the past, present, and future comes into question. Once trust is broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. For years, fans have said Miss Universe wasn't the same after changes in ownership. But this is not just a decline. This is a collapse of credibility. Let's look deeper at the system. Miss Universe is expensive to operate. Sponsorship money, franchise fees, broadcast, global tours, they all require massive funding. And in the last few years, the organization has struggled financially, so naturally, business partnership become crucial. But when those partnership influence judging or results, that is where the line between business and fairness completely disappears. Now, what about the other contestants? Imagine training your whole life, investing thousands of dollars, practicing, dieting, working, studying, performing, only to lose to someone who was allegedly chosen before the competition even happened. How do you justify that? How do you contest trust this system again? And there's the reaction from pregnant communities worldwide. Many former contestants are speaking out. Some are hinting that they always felt something was off. Others say they suspected favorism but never had proof. And now this judge resignation are giving people the courage to finally speak up. Meanwhile, fans are demanding answer from the organization. They want statement, they want transparency, they want investigations, but Miss Universe has remained silent, and silence in crisis is dangerous because silence looks like guilty. Let's also talk about how the public perception has changed. Social media has amplified everything. On TikTok, creators are calling Miss Universe a business deal disguised as a competition. On Twitter, fans are posting side-by-side screenshots of the judges' Instagram stories before they were deleted. On Reddit, people are analyzing every moment from the coronation, claiming it felt rushed or strangely outdated. But here is something even more interesting. People are now bringing up previous year's controversies. Suddenly, all suspicions from past competitions are resurfacing. People are re-examining past winners, re-watching old clips, re-evaluating past judging panels, all because the trust is broken. When one accusation becomes believable, every past rumor becomes believable too. What this does to the pregnant world long term is important. Sponsors may pull out, countries may refuse to participate, fans may switch to other competitions like Miss Earth or Miss International, and if the HBO documentary does come out with solid evidence, Miss Universe will be forced to rebuild completely or risk disappearing altogether. Let's go back to Omar for a moment. Whether people like him or not, whether they trust him or not, he risked his reputation by speaking. Judges do not quit quite lightly. They don't throw accusation publicly unless something deeply triggered them. And what is more interesting is that the other judge who resigned hasn't denied anything. In fact, none of the judges have come out to defend the organization. That silence speaks louder than any Instagram post. Now, some fans argue that this entire situation is just drama, that Miss Universe faces controversies every year, that people always accuse winners of rigging, and yes, that is true. Pregnants come with drama. Fans of the losing contest often look for excuses, but here's the difference. This time, the accusations are coming from insiders, not outsiders. Another angle people are discussing is the potential legal consequences if the documentary proves business interference in voting. Countries could sue, contestants could sue, sponsors could sue, the brand could face millions in damages. That is why the organization have been quiet right now. They are likely consulting lawyers. On the other hand, some people believe this entire scandal may be exaggerated, that the documentary might just be dramatic storytelling to create buzz, not an actual expose. And if that were true, the judges wouldn't be resigning. Judges resigning is not a marketing strategy. It's a crisis. Let's shift to Miss Mexico herself. Fatima is being dragged online, but it's important to remember that allegations against her father are not allegations against her. It's possible she had no knowledge of any business relationships. She may truly believe she won fairly through her performance, but the problem is public perception no longer see it that way. And in the documentary, public perception is everything. People are also asking why the Miss Universe organization haven't addressed the claims directly. Some believe they are hoping the controversy will fade, but this time it won't fade because screenshots exist, videos exist, statements were made publicly, and most importantly, a documentary is coming. The HBO documentary might become the defining moment for Miss Universe. Either it exposes everything or attempts to clear the air. But based on Omar's tone, it sounds like this documentary will not be flattering. This entire situation has also raised questions about the role of the national directors, sponsors, and wealthy business owners in influencing results. Some fans are saying that if this is true, then smaller countries without financial power never stood a chance in this first place. This is why emotions are high. This is why fans are angry, because if the outcome was already decided before contestants even step on stage, then the entire competition was nothing more than a show. This controversy is not going away. More details will come out, more witnesses may speak, more evidence may link, and when the documentary drops in 2026, that might be the moment that defies the truth once and for all. And for now, the only thing the public can do is watch, analyze, ask questions. and demand accountability, because if Miss Universe truly wants to maintain its legacy, it cannot hide behind silence. It must confront the controversy, address the allegations, and rebuild the trust that has been shattered in just a matter of days. Until then, this scandal will continue to grow, and the world will keep watching.
And if you watched up to this extent, don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, why not just share your thought? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.